we are joining our co-host Marc on Skype again, and he's at the Grenada Yacht Club to tell us what's going on with the Billfish tournament. Morning, Marc.
Hi, morning. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Good. What's going on down there?
Well, it's very exciting. I was here fairly early. Everybody around is a big breakfast this morning. So everybody was here enjoying that. But right now, all the boats are starting to shove off the dock. They're starting to line up to head and do that parade around the carnage. So I don't know if you could see behind me.
Right.
Yeah, we seen a little movement in the back there.
Yeah, so there's still a few boats on the dock, but let me see if I can shift the camera.
There we
so
go.
If you
There
look
we
over
go.
here, Port Louis in the background, obviously, you can see the boats lining up and getting ready to go.
That looks nice.
The lead boat has just left the harbor
Okay.
and is heading over to the carnage now.
All right, great. Have you had a chat with any of the fishermen this morning?
Yeah, I've had a few chats. Everybody's feeling confident. These fishermen are like they tend to be all in a good mood and quite comical.
Right.
So a lot of old friends still catching up with new friends, people from other countries. Some people discussing a few little bits and pieces, but obviously no strategy from anybody. Nobody's saying where they're going.
Of course, yeah.
What about the organizers of the Billfish tournaments? Have you managed to speak to them?
Yeah, I saw Richard McIntyre, who was on the show earlier in the week. Spoken to Nicholas George. Nicholas is out on a boat. He's going to be down on the carnage this morning for the parade that's happening. Richard is here. He's in good spirits. He's excited. He's heading over to the carnage right now.
Okay.
So everybody's looking good. We had some of the promoters for the event come in and talking to me. So yeah, everybody's in a good mood, really.
Right. Is there anybody around you still right now that we can probably
I'll
talk
give you a
to?
shot of inside the yacht club.
Right.
So you can see behind me, about half an hour ago, there was quite a few. I almost want to say 200 fishermen, but it's probably more than that.
Wow.
In here eating a wonderful breakfast, it seemed. I'm hoping there's some
Did you get
leftovers
some?
for me.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're still hoping.
Mark, come on, you need to do a better job than that. You have to, wherever there's food, you need to take and bring back for the Daybreak family. Come on,
Alright,
it's
okay,
like
I'll see what I can
birds.
find for you guys.
All right.
So
what?
they were all up here having breakfast, sitting around, but it seemed the space of about 5 minutes. Okay, I'm actually going to turn here so that you can see the boats kind of moving in the background.
Right.
I know I'm out of the shot, but the boats are prettier than me.
Okay.
Agreed. We're joking.
So, yeah, Marc, I know weather is a very important thing for fishermen. Have you heard anything about the weather today and how they think it looks?
Yeah, I heard a couple of comments. Nobody's saying anything major, really. When I left True Blue this morning, there was very, very little wind. The boats were pointing northern, but it seemed quite calm. Granans Beach, the water seemed a little choppy, but looking out of the harbour now, the St. George's Harbour, the water's looking quite calm. The wind is very, very low. So it'd probably be quite a nice, easy day out on the water for them. Probably get a little further away without being rolled around too much,
Right.
Right. Now, they leave here this early. Around what time are they expected to return?
I think that lines up is at 4:30 today.
Okay.
So most boats will start coming in between 4 and 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's good to see, and I mean the boats are simply beautiful. A boat just came in here. Mr. McIntyre was telling me TT Hemisphere. I think he said that they're fishing out to the Cayman Islands. They weren't docked here in St. George's. They're docked down on the south end of the island. But so they came up with the boat this morning and came in. Beautiful boat and joined the line. And there's quite a mix of boats, different shapes and sizes out there, all going out from from very small and enthusiastic, I would say, to some giants that look like they would swallow them up.
Right.
Have you ever been on one of these boats, like for the tournament?
Yeah, I went out on one of the boats a few years ago for this very tournament. Unfortunately, I seem to bring bad luck to fishing boats.
Oh boy.
I've had people say that no, every time I go out, I catch fish. I know the spots. I guarantee we'll catch something. I'll spend a whole day on the water, and you wouldn't even smell a fish. So
Oh my goodness.
I didn't go out the week after and they start catching again.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
know a lot of
bad
people-
luck. They don't invite me back.
So they believe in a lot of luck. I know fishermen think that it's all about luck when it comes to catching fish. Do you believe that?
Yeah, well, actually, there was a few traditions this morning because obviously I'm wearing a shirt, and so one of the fishermen came up and said, "Hey, you know, you're not gonna do very well on the boat in those shoes." So I said, "Well, I was dressing nicely for the fish, but his hat was what is described as a vagrant's hat. Was completely torn, shredded. It wasn't very useful as a hat, in my opinion.
But it's
he's
luck.
worn it at every fishing tournament that he does, and he said it's an heirloom. His son will eventually start wearing it to fishing tournaments. So there's definitely a lot of tradition with the fishermen here.
I'm sure by the time his grandchild wears it, it probably would be just a thread, you know?
It's just gonna be a string tied around his head.
All right, well, we want you back in the shot. You know, we're not seeing too much happening in the back there right now. So, and
We
we
can
have
still
you
see
in
the
the
boats leaving. I can see the boats leaving.
All right, yeah, it's just a very slow procession, and basically they're all as I say in a line and just doing a couple of knots, heading out to the bay, and then heading over onto the carnage.
So what time do they leave the carnage, Mark?
It's a continuous thing, so they'll just continue at this speed.
Oh, okay.
And there's a small boat in the middle of the carnage that they'll go around, and then they'll head out to the harbor and they'll form a line outside of St. George's
Okay.
until they get the signal, and then it's full throttle.
Nice.
Everybody heads to their spot and then gets lines down.
Right. Well, we know fishing could be sometimes, especially if you're not catching anything. If Mark is on your boat, that it could be a bit boring, you know, uneventful. What do these guys do apart from just sitting there waiting for a big catch on the boat?
I'm not sure if I can say that on live.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Caribbean people, and I think it's pretty short thing to say that there'll be a lot of drinks on board.
Right.
Old
These
talking.
boats, I won't say the nature of these drinks,
Yeah.
but
Water,
they're
of course.
chilled
you know, it's
and
very
poured
important.
regularly.
All right. Good.
So yeah, they entertain themselves with that. There's a lot of radio chit chatter out on the boats as well.
Okay.
So people who have friends on other boats will call and, hey, where are you? What is it looking like down there? Is the water rough? Is it calm? Have you had any strikes? That sort of thing.
Right.
So certain boats will work together to some extent, try and either spread out, so one person cover one area, another person cover another area, or sometimes they'll follow each other around, and they'll like debris in the water that fish may be underneath.
Right.
One boat may go past it, another boat follow a little bit later. Just little things like that. And then, of course, they're always in touch with, I'll say, master control at the head office. So whenever somebody gets a strike, they actually call it in. Say, this is boat A, we just had a strike. Or hooked and fighting is a common term. So they're bringing something in, and then they'll say, we've landed a blue marlin, approximately 300 pounds. And then master control would then say, because they all have a camera on board, and they'll say, okay, we want you to take a picture of the fish. And then they'll give them a task to do after that. So they'll say, and then we want you to take a picture of two of your crew wearing a hat. And it's a way of doing a timeline, but something random, so that when they come in and they show a picture, they can identify it with that random thing that they made. So it's not a picture that was taken of a fish they caught 3 months ago. Okay. So a lot of conversation backward and forward with the guys in charge back on dry land. And then a lot of just assessing, really, looking for birds to follow. Every once in a while they'll pull in one line and change whatever bait or tackle they have on it.
Okay.
So it's a big change. A lot of stuff happening.
Right. When does the actual tournament end?
Tournament is, they fish today, they fish tomorrow. Saturday is a lay day, and then on Sunday they have the final day of fishing.
Okay, all right. So, what kind of fish do we catch out here? I mean, I heard your example was a 300-pound blue marlin. Do we actually get those things off of our waters?
Yeah, 300 is not really that big for a blue marlin. The fish that count for points in this tournament, sailfish, the white marlin, and the blue marlin. And I think the record that people are going for with the blue marlin is 700 pounds on.
Wow.
So, but anything over 580 pounds the guys will bring in because they can get more points for a fish for a blue marlin that's bigger than 580.
Okay. Wow.
But
Nice.
yeah, so but everything else they'll tag and release.
No, I don't know if you have this information or if there's anyone around that could give you. But what was last year's winning catch? Do you know?
I want to say it was based on releases, and it might have been something like 13 releases.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure. But I remember Richard when he was in earlier saying that in Grenada we typically have about 94 releases at our tournament versus anywhere between 12 and 30 at other tournaments.
Okay.
So there's definitely a lot more catches that happen at this tournament in Grenada.
All right.
So,
Nice.
the boats are still heading out. You can see there's even just some basic power boats, basic speed boats that are heading out there. I'm not sure if you're picking that up on the camera
Yeah,
yet.
Right,
we can
yeah,
see
wow.
that. Nice. So let's just get a shot of, all the boats leaving, and we'll say bye to you.
So, and I don't know if you can see, well, obviously Port Louis in the background. Some beautiful boats at Port Louis. And of course, lots of people on the dock over there watching the boats head out and do their parade. So there's people up and enjoying the show.
Nice.
All right. Well, great stuff down there, Mark.
All right.
Okay, lost
So
transmission.
that was Mark all the way at the yacht club right now. All the boats are actually leaving Lagoon Road and they're going into the carnage and they're going to line up and then leave. So if you want to see this spectacular event, you could probably, go up to the fort, probably Fort George or something, and you could see all the boats lining up and leaving, St. George's Harbor. So that's all the Spice Isle Billfish tournament that's happening this weekend and it's going on. So you can always check them out at Yacht Club, right?